At the end of that tour, we came back. It might have been late August, and Balanchine was starting the rehearsals for new works that he was doing. And I looked on the board. These were the days before computer, naturally, 3/4 of a century ago, plus 1 year. And there were 4 boys in the Corps de Ballet and 1 principal male, if I may say male, Todd Bolander, and my name was up there, last name, Kent. And I thought, oh, what does this mean? Am I sort of an auxiliary? Am I an acolyte? Do I have a principal part? Well, who was there to ask until the next day, and walked into the studio, and we went. Balanchine told everyone to go to a corner where the bars were at a right angle. Here my math really comes in play, a right angle. I understood. And he told me to climb up on the bar and stand up on the men's shoulders. And the music played. It was Charles Ives, the unanswered question. In those days, no one really had heard Charles Ives. The music was exquisite, deeply moving. And Balanchine didn't explain what he had in mind. It just proceeded, and things happened. Someone said that Balanchine told her it was like a sphinx, but I think it was more like a supple sphinx. I'd had trouble saying that word. But this man on the floor cannot reach me. He's trying everything. I am definitely unreachable. I'm supple, but I'm never within his grasp. And it's tragic, but that theme kind of appears in other Balanchine's work, that someone is searching for something that cannot be found, sort of a metaphysical question or fairy tale or something in that nature.
How did it feel to have that choreograph for you?
It was wonderful, but also it was Balanchine had the idea. I was up there, and he'd say, "Oh, maybe you sit down," and the men make a kind of chair, and then you bend over, and then you are threaded through their legs, and then you come up again. It was like it just happened. The choreography, it was not, he didn't go home, as far as I know, and sort of plot it out or look in a mirror and say, maybe I'll do this, or maybe I won't do that, or this. And at one point during my career, he told me not to listen to anyone. Only he wanted to direct me totally. If I came up with something interesting based on what he gave me, if he didn't like it or something, he'd tell me, but he didn't want the ballerinas to start, "Oh, you should have done this." "Well, it'd be better if you do that." So that made me fairly confident. Rehearsals, he started showing me the steps, what he wanted, not so much the feeling, because it's sort of, once you see what's happening, you understand the feeling. But some of it, but the thing is, he'd demonstrate, so you knew what he wanted. And so there was your clue. More than clue, there was what you wanted to do. And so we worked on it. He showed me the steps, and one day after rehearsal, I went out and got the 104 bus, which is on Broadway and goes south. Oh, that's so important to say. It went south, and at the bus stop there was Madame Danilova, who was the original, and she said, "Oh, I heard you were going to be the somnambulist in La Sonnambula." And I said, "Yes." She was sitting at the bus stop. She got up immediately and started demonstrating for me the way she did it previously. I thought, oh. And then she started describing the costume. And she said, and the sleeves have sort of, she didn't say what it was, but she sort of did this liquid, fluid motion. And I thought, oh my gosh, here we are at the 104 bus stop getting, this picture from and coaching from the original. And then I went to Karinska's maybe a few days later, costume fitting, the long dress. It's actually like a nightgown, and Karinska had designed these sort of like puffy little nightgown sleeves. And I said, "Oh no, that's wrong. I saw Madame Danilova and they were supposed to be like this." So Karinska changed the costume. And actually, what Danilova was describing were beads. But she didn't say beads. She just did this sort of gesture. And the costume was magnificent. It's still being used today.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. He had done a version of the 7 Deadly Sins. I think it was in 1925 with Lotte Lenya, and I've forgotten the other woman who would be the part I would be doing. And so finally it did happen. And to describe it, I think it's best to describe in photographs, because the sins are not exactly what they look like. But great scenery, great music, great costume. I loved working with Lotte Lenya, and I was particularly good at gluttony. But in the last sit, I'm in sort of like, not exactly a bikini, but a bra and pants, black lace, and all the men are in masks, and they all look the same. It's like the public that looks alike and thinks alike, and so it's sort of frightening, totally frightening. And this would be the 7th sin, and at the end, the only thing I can think of is killing myself and jumping through a part of the scenery that is pliable so that I don't knock myself out. And it was very, very exciting. Balanchine wanted me to run over a lineup of men kneeling, and in the rehearsal, without hands or anything, just run. But I was used to that because in Ojai Valley, I was in a stream. You jump from rock to rock, and everyone was falling in, but I wasn't, and I thought, why are they doing that? But in the rehearsal, I'd yell to the men, "Straighten your backs," so it wouldn't be And it was a big success, so that was terrific. And I was good at gluttony.
You said that you thought Balanchine was in love with you then. Why did you think that?
Because he cast me in these unique ballets. They seemed to come out of nowhere.